about the female AFCON? Why did they cancel the female AFCON?
You know what they call juju politics.
It's so sad.
You are looking at something. You are captivated by what you are seeing, but what you are seeing is not the real thing. That's juju politics. You know, it's like you are under some kind of spell. When your eyes are clear of the illusion, so to speak, then you realize, oh, CAF, the African ruling body, came out to tell the world that they were going to create African Champions League for women for the first time in 2021. The women all got excited by that pet idea. And they forgot the major announcement in the communication, which CAF sent, that the jewel of competition, the only competition for women in Africa, has been cancelled. People didn't realize it until after 2 days after that, after they have been praising CAF for starting the Champions League, that they knew that what was their own had been taken away from them. And in this place, they gave them something. You didn't need to cancel the Women's Cup of Nations, because it's the pride of, in short, it's the only competition that the women have known. In short, it's the only developmental plank. Yeah, we understand the situation. We understand the COVID situation. But why cancel a competition? What will you will have postponed it? Because a competition that happens every 2 years. Now you have cancelled it. When is the next edition? If you have cancelled it and said, okay, the next edition will hold, people will say, yeah, okay, you have made allowance for that. But first, they didn't even have a host for the competition. And that's what people didn't realize. There was no host. The host, Congo, decided that they were not going to host anymore. And so it was there left. Nigeria put in a bid, but when COVID came, nobody pursued the bid. And the women competition, Nigeria has hosted how many times? Even all the states, states have tried to even host it. Ghana, Nigeria. So they needed, the CAF needed to keep jealously the heritage of that competition and its main event, which is the Nations Cup. But let's see what they will do. Now that they've cancelled it, let's wait to see where the next edition will hold, whether they will even find a host. But the focus from the international body is now on women's football. FIFA has gone into its reserve to bring out money to develop women's football. And that is critical. That is telling everyone who is involved in the game that the women are coming, the women are receiving attention, and watch carefully at the women's game. You saw the captain of the United States, Rapinoe Megan, the woman who took on Trump one-on-one. And she still says she wants to be president of America. She won the World Cup with America in style. FIFA best player. And, you know, it's not just talking with her boots. She talks well in terms of saying the right kind of things. And that's the power of women football growing now. And in Nigeria, we have seen some effort at keeping the game alive, but the structure needs to be adjusted. And with the money being pumped, every national association has been given 1 million, 500 first, second, another 500, $1 million, specifically for women's football, all across the globe. So it's let's see how that money will be spent. The schools are there. How many girls' schools have football pitches? And it is said that once the women start playing football, then the whole family will be involved in the game. And then the scope of the game will expand. And, you know, it's more money for the game and the future. Because the women now will not only be carrying their girls to go and play football. Their girls will be also talking to their friends to follow them to watch football. So it's a right thing. And some people say it's even coming late. They will have, women will have been in the forefront of pushing the game. And Nigerian women have been good. They've been in almost all the World Cups. but they've not gone past the quarterfinals. And then we've won the Nations Cup 9 times, which is a record which nobody will before you even equal that record. Maybe it will be another level. But another level means we have to jack up so many things. Our infrastructure. People talk about the things that are lacking in Nigeria, but they affect sports. If transportation is not good, sportsmen will not have easy transport to go and train. Yeah. If the light is not at home, they come back at home, nothing. There's no water. They won't have a good bath. So the basics. Let the society improve, and the sports will just take a cue. We won't because we want to do sports, we'll go and build our own roads or have our own power generating plant. It has to be within the national fold, or as they say, part of the system.
Yeah. Why is it that we don't get sponsors for our league?
That's not correct. That we don't have, anybody who tells you don't get sponsors for our league is not right. We have had sponsors of the league, but it's just that we have not packaged the league sufficiently enough to attract the right kind of sponsorship. Sponsorship that will endure. Sponsorship that will stay. At one point in time when this league was vibrant, there was a glut of sponsors. Yes. And suddenly the different distractions, corruption here, stories of corruption here, allegation of that, the different kinds of things. Even the Sun newspaper declared the chairman of the league man of the year 3 years or 4 years ago. That's when the league was buoyant. Some of the big communication companies have been involved with our league. Some of the big beverage companies. The first major sponsorship we had for the league, the Pepsi League. Before it, you had Bonvita in the 80s. You remember Bonvita Bonvita match of the week. It wasn't even live, but extra effort was made. You play a game today, Saturday, Sunday night, NTA was showing it. But in this country, the national television has killed Nigerian sports, and that's the truth. They are supposed to be at the forefront of broadcasting Nigerian league matches. If it means going to borrow money from Central Bank to get the kind of facilities to cover Nigerian league matches across Nigeria, that's what they're supposed to do. Tell me anywhere in the world where the major broadcaster, the state broadcaster, is not involved in the game. Some people don't realize that, and use everything on private sector. Why is even the private sector in Nigeria? We know what the private sector in Nigeria is. The private sector in Nigeria means those who at one point in time flirted with government and never develop capital from scratch, become billionaires and still come back and they tell you they are private. What is private about? Today, once the economy is sick, you see the private sector taught us. What kind of billionaires do we have? They're all dependent peripheral capitalists who have been either commission agents or one block of oil or somewhere, or government stuff. So what is all this question about private sector? If we had a national television that was pushing high our league, can you imagine 30 million viewers according to them, which has improved over to 60 million or whatever, with all the network broadcasting our football on a daily basis? Who will be interested in all this European League if we have been doing that? If we follow the tradition, we left it. We're waiting for outsiders to come and buy rights, use your station, pay for your airtime, show the match, and you are saying that you have in South Africa, SABC. It's part of sports. Is part of their defining operation. They go out to cover their league. Indeed, before Super Sports paid for the league rights, they had to accommodate SABC. They gave them some matches. The same thing in the UK, Sky and BBC. Even during this COVID, they said, look, nobody's going to the stadium. Give some of the matches to the state broadcast station. In Italy, it's Italia TV. It says it's nationwide. These are all state-owned stuff. Spanish La Liga, Bundesliga, the government had to give them money, seed money, for them to have their own production. The government has been giving to arts. Is it the artist, films and all those. Government has to put seed money first, at least in the broadcast. And some people are shouting. I heard the other day they say how many million they want to give NTA as part of the loan they were taking. But that is not how to. That's not how to do it. Once our television is right, and NTA is in every state. How many states? We have 36 states. And you have the right kind of facilities to cover matches within these states. And you bombard the airwaves. But now, of course, technology has changed, Technology has changed. You can cover the match today in your village and put it for the world to see. If the packaging is right, you have a good mix, then people will watch. It's a good thing to see somebody in your neighborhood playing for a team. He comes home and says, oh boy, I enjoyed your game. I watched it. You were fantastic. That's what the game is. There's always, as they say, everything is local. Football too is local. If politics is local, football too is local. And so we have to build that local foundation and then start adding the, as they call it, start adding the pancake to make it, worthy for the outsider to know. And then jobs, the media. Our journalists are no longer opportunity to train. How many commentators do you have to hear again anymore? Because we don't have the league. Where would they learn their art? Where would they learn their craft? Those who are reporting for the newspapers, back pages of most newspaper sports. But what do you put there? You'll be putting English league and Spanish league, improving the economy, giving jobs to people there, and at home here you have nothing. That's what I tell my colleagues as president of African Sports. I tell you, you must endeavor to promote your own, even as it is bad. You have to look at the good side. There is beauty in ugliness. That's why people like masks. So we must make, it must be a deliberate effort. It's not like we pretend, oh, your guys, your league is corrupt, your league. No, there must be a deliberate effort. Just like our power sector, there must be a deliberate, conscious, and we damn all consequences to ensure that we get at least some aspect right. Then we start pushing. If we don't do that, the future is, there will come a time when this generation, they won't even understand how we play football again. They'll be telling you about the children of Ronaldo and the daughter of Messi. Because we'll be suffocated with information from outside. Because we have nothing. We have nothing. It's like food. Edikaikon was a local dish in Calabar for a long while. But when Edikaikon started gaining national, it's now continental. Yeah. It's now continental. So that is, for me, there must be a revolution in that side. And we also have to have our millionaires or billionaires support effort on a political level, not because it is good or it is bad, but because they have to do something. Like charity, they must start at home. It must be deliberate. Look at, is it Big Brother? Is it Big Brother they call it now?
Yeah, Big Brother.
Is that what our youth will spend the whole time? A whole day, you are watching as somebody is going to take his bath, watching as somebody is eating food, is that what any young man with a serious mission will be doing? Then in the night, you are asking yourself, what will they do in the night? You watch them sleep, and you are not sleeping. And they say it's Big Brother. Where is the small brother? Where is the small brother gone to?
you are involved in the business side of sports, and I'm wondering how the COVID-19 lockdown and the challenges in that area, how it has affected the business of sports.
Shay, my brother, I must tell you that these are difficult times. They are turbulent times. You try to project, you don't even get answers. I mean, basically, we are sports solutionists.
Okay.
From the business perspective, but once the business is not even happening, first you don't have the events. If you don't have the events, it's like what I'm talking about, the Nigerian League. Once you don't have the events, what you want to try? You start selling history. It's tight. They made the highest event, mankind's biggest sports endeavor, was postponed. I mean, that's to tell you the level. All the big events, apart from, as I said, the league, which had to finish because the kind of commitments they had in those leagues, they can't afford not to meet the calendar. It will be disaster all around. Even the Americans are saying they will hold their US Open. French Open they couldn't see themselves not happening this year. They've carried it after the US Open. You will come back to French Open, which was supposed to be the second. But at home here, nothing is happening. And we are there. We are looking, hoping. And as Bob Marley will say, you don't want to hope in vain. So it's really tight, but we are finding new ways of doing old things. Getting to look again at our own sports firmament, see some of the bright spots we can latch onto, and give people joy all around. Why not? On radio now, I try to mix sports with music to find a new fuel to excite and stir up the youth. If you cannot take the sports, you take the music. If you cannot take the music, you stay with the sports. At the end of the day, you have something to hold tight to. And we are saying that we need to find such kind of mixes all around, because the situation has changed. The picture is no longer as straightforward as you can get. Even in our retirement pension age, we are trying to think anew, trying to find new cells of fresh thoughts, and it can be really tough. But as you know, His grace is sufficient.
I was going to say that. So, how are you adjusting to the new normal?
The new normal means that when you are going out now, the first thing you think about is not even your car key. It is your face mask. It is your face mask. It's more important than your key. It's not Alibaba, the Chinese billionaire, who said in 2020 his only achievement will be survivor. So the new normal is just what it is. It's a normalcy that is in reverse.
But do you worry that for everybody now, survival is the new game?
Survival is key. That is why we are going back to what are the things that can keep us on. What are the survival kits? Now we are beginning to look at farming again. People need good food, organic food. People are beginning to go back, and you see the benefits of all of this. People are beginning to go back now. Go back to the farm. It's no longer oil. Oil is a fading resource, or as they say, wasting resource. No longer has the appeal. The money there is not as high as people are looking at knowledge. the knowledge industry. Those are key areas to throw the light, the focus on. And we believe that the future itself will provide enough opportunities for those who can find these new sports. So it's a good one. At AIPS, the International Sports Press Association, we've been doing considerable work trying to not only create awareness of the new culture. Indeed, tomorrow there will be a seminar, the cost of reporting while female for women journalists. Just like FIFA is focusing on women football, the International Sports Press Association is also getting the women. We are seeing that there are more women in the business, yet in the newsroom, the men are still dominating. The bylines are still men. Yet the women, you go to all the schools of communication and journalism, the women are there in numbers. But their impact, and then their leadership, the leadership role. And you know, we have to give them not a helping hand now, we have to give them a hand. So together, we all move and face the challenge of the business of journalism. And the women are not, they are not doing badly. Tomorrow on Zoom at this same time, people who are keen to have viewpoints from across the globe can join and get to see what the women are saying. They had a seminar that was divided into 4 parts. Tomorrow it will be about pay cuts in the business, how people are trying to survive. Newspapers, media houses, how they are surviving, how reporters are even surviving. So it's good. There's a total reevaluation, and guys are beginning to do an inventory, or I call it the survival inventory. You need to do that to get going, and we hope we'll find joy at the end. Only on July 2nd, the World Sports Journalists Day, International Day of Sports Journalists, we brought together 140 countries. On Zoom, we're over 300 journalists on Zoom. It was a first-time effort, but it signaled the way to go. And he only reminded us of how our association started in 1924, when journalists who came for the Olympics in Paris had to gather inside the boxing ring to hold their board meeting. And the message was significant. Inside the boxing ring to hold their board meeting, it means that as journalists, we will continuously keep on the struggle. The fight for our independence will be enduring. The fight for our independence of expression will be enduring, because things are beginning to change. People don't even have access to the subjects anymore. The subjects talk through different barriers, through different cloaks. Managers, Twitter, nothing direct. You cannot even have a direct quote anymore. Journalists don't even have access to the people who are supposed to be making the news. And these are things we have to fight for. Create that access. That access must be there. People want to hear the normal voice, not the synthesized or filtered voice. And that's what we as journalists must always strive to. So you get the real thing, not the perceived reality. You know about perception.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. I wish you guys, you guys have kept fit, city
Thank
people.
you.
I still remember the early steps. And what did Cyprian Kwesi say about the people of the city?
People of the city.
The people of the city, they are jolly good fellows who we want their city to keep on the vibrancy, or is it the vivacity? and that's what it is. You guys have strangely, in my expectation, kept faith, and you keep flying the flag. And it's my delight to join you in your Instagram live chat and City People TV.
Thank you very much.
It is the future. The future is in our hands here.
We appreciate you. Thank you very much.